In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly on how you can connect your TradingView indicators and strategies to trade automatically on centralized exchanges. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using Blofin. Now, first thing that we need to do is we need to go to Crodl.com because this is the bot that's going to be executing our trades. And what we can click on here is start trading. And it's going to take us to the sign up page. So you can just go ahead and fill out this with your details. So after you've created your account, you can just go ahead and log in. So after you've logged in, it's going to take you to this onboarding page. Now this is going to be something to help you to set your API keys depending on the exchange you want to connect. So if we go ahead and click next, we can see that we can select one of these exchanges. Now we do support quite a few. It works similar on all the exchanges. It's just the connection process that's different. But if you need more help and you click continue, there's going to be a button here, need help, and it's going to show you by images and steps on what to do. But we're also going to be doing this in this video. So the first thing we need to do is actually create an account on Blofin. Now if you don't have an account, there is a referral link in the description of this video, and you can also save up to 15% of your fees for life by using that link, and also help me to build out these tools. So now that you are on Blofin, all you need to do is create your account, and once you have logged in, you're going to click on your profile and you will see right here is a button called API. We're going to click that, and then we're going to click here on create API key. So what you're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and select an application name. You can just go ahead and search for Crodl. Select Crodl and not Crodl Trading, as Crodl Trading is an older board of ours, but we're going to select Crodl. We can give this any name. So I'm just going to call this Crodl bot. And then for permissions, very important, only enable the trade and the read. Do not enable withdrawal, as the board doesn't require that. And by not enabling it, you're actually adding an extra security layer on top of your keys. So we only need these two permissions. Then for the passphrases, it can be anything that you want to set, but you need to remember it because the bot requires it when you're going to add the key. So after selecting next, it's just going to ask you to enter your security information. So after you've added your 2FA keys and the security, you're going to see the next window. That's going to give you your API key as well as your secret. Now I'm sharing these, but I will delete it after this video. And it's very important that you do not share these keys with anyone. So if we go ahead and we go back to our API section, we can now either go ahead and add it right here and just click on add and verify. But let's say, for example, you don't get the onboarding step or you already skipped it. The other place where you can do it is either click add API key right here, or you can go ahead to your settings and then click on API keys. And then it's going to give you the same list. So we're going to go ahead and add it for Blofin. We're going to call this our main keys. And again, we're just going to go back to Blofin, copy our key, go back and paste it. And then also we need to copy the secret, and we're going to paste it in here. And now it's going to ask you for that passphrase that we created previously when we created the key on Blofin. And this is going to be live keys. So the board also supports demo trading if you want to add those keys, but this is going to be for a live account. So once we've added the keys, we can see right here, API key added, and you have a button here to verify as well, but we can see that it is connected. So if we go ahead to the dashboard, we should now see it loading our balance. As we can see, there's $13. We haven't done any trading on this. So the next thing that we want to do is connect this to TradingView. Now, if we go back to our TradingView, so we can connect this to any indicator strategy as long as we can set an alert on it. I'm going to be setting this up on the super trend indicator just to make this simple for the video. But there is going to be more videos to show you more advanced setups, and I'll also help you guys in Discord. So if you just have a question you don't understand, you can create a support ticket there and I'll be happy to assist. So if we go back to the board, there's going to be two sections here on the left, which is going to be terminal and automations. Terminal is more if you want to do manually trading, which I will go into in another video, but what we're looking for is going to be automations. So automations is where we create these triggers that can then go ahead and execute on TradingView and trade for us automatically. So you can see the triggers basically that you're creating here on the board more as a template, because I'm going to show you exactly why I say that. Now let's just, for example, say that we want to trade on the Let's go ahead for the 15-minute, and then we want to trade on Solana USDT. So what we need to do is on this page, we can see a new trigger right here. This is going to be an open trigger because we first need to go ahead and create a buy and a sell trigger. So meaning if this turns red, we want to sell or short, and if this turns green, we want to go ahead and buy. You can also see that there is a close trigger. This is just, for example, if you have a exit logic on your indicator, like a take profit, or let's say an RSI cross, and then you want to exit, then you will use the closing triggers. So for now, let's go ahead and create an open trigger, and this is going to be a long buy. We can just go ahead and call this Sol USDT. Then we have to go ahead and search for the symbol Sol USDT, and again now we're going to select the key that we just added. So this is going to be the main key we've added. Journaling is just if you want to basically build separate strategies and track them individually. I will show that in a different video, but for now we're just going to click on no journaling. So what we want, we can go ahead and select a market order, but the board also takes limit orders if you have a script that needs to execute that. So to make it simple, we leave it on market. We can use isolated or cross. I'm going to keep it on isolated with 10x leverage, and also one way or hedge. I'm just going to select one way right here. So percentage is going to be the percentage of your actual account. So as we saw previously, I had around $13. So yeah, if you want to use dollar amounts, you can just go ahead and select margin or position, or the actual asset size. The difference between margin and position: margin is the actual amount you're going to be using. So if I make this margin and 5, it's going to use $5 of my account. But if I use position 5, then it's going to check my leverage. As you can see, I'm basically using 10x leverage, so it's going to divide the 5 by 10, and then it's going to use that amount for margin. I know it might sound confusing, but if you're confused, again, just ask in the Discord, or Google it or search it or ask ChatGPT. But I'm just going to go ahead and use margin, and I'm going to use 10. So the board also has the ability to go ahead and add take profit and position. Add take profit and stop losses with your position. So if we go ahead and toggle this on, you can see that this is going to be a take profit. We can go ahead and take a market take profit or a limit, and we can go and set the actual price or percentage away from the entry. So to keep it simple, I'm just going to go ahead and say percent from price. And we're going to do that 1% market move. So meaning that if Solana itself moved by 1%, that's going to be the gap. And then also for the stop loss, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to set it to 1. Now you'll see there is some advanced settings. If you want to play around with it, you can. I'm just going to quickly explain to you what it means. But opposite side close is basically saying that if we get a short while we're in a long, it's going to close as long and open up a short, whether the take profit or stop loss was hit or not. And then the same thing again. If we are in a short, we get a long, it closes the short and then go long. So it's basically flipping the positions without having to reach a take profit or stop loss. You can use that with take profit and stop loss as well, and then whichever is first will execute. There's a lot of different ways you can actually use this, and if you don't want to use it, you just keep it off and it will then use this take profit and stop losses. Or if you have a closing trigger, then you can use that to exit your positions. Cancel and unfold is basically when this trade will trigger. It will cancel like any limit orders or open orders that's on your still open. Pyramiding is if you want to stack your positions. So for example, let's say you're already in a trade, let's say Solana trade, and you get another signal. You might not want to take that because you're already in a trade. Then by having this as none, the bot will actually stop the trade from happening. But if you want to be able to go ahead and stack your pyramid your positions, then you can go ahead, select positions only if you want more orders or both of them. I'm just going to keep this at none. And then allocation ID might be a bit confusing as well, but it's just that if you want to connect this specific position or trigger to a closing trigger, like if you want to close, let's say 50% of this specific trigger You can give it an allocation ID and then connect this to your closing trade. That is a bit confusing, so I don't want to go into that in depth, but it is useful if this is something that you are looking for. We also do have documentation under docs.crodl.com. I will also link that down. It might help you to understand this a bit more if you want to take it on your own time. So we're going to go ahead and create the open trigger. So once you get used to this, it really goes quicker because it's actually just quite a few things that you need to set, and you'll most likely just use the same settings over and over again. What you can do now is you're going to click on these 3 action buttons, and it's going to give you a list of things that you can do. So run now would go ahead and actually execute this trigger as if a TradingView alert fired. So this would then go ahead and place a long for me. We're not going to do that right now, but you can also go ahead and edit your triggers. This is if you want to change anything. But again, the triggers are only going to work if you click on run now, or you go ahead and copy this on like a TradingView alert. So if we go ahead and we say view config JSON, then you're going to get this pop up. So this is what you want to be copying and pasting into TradingView's alert. So you don't have to understand anything of this. This is just basically making all those settings that you've set into a nice little code that the bot will understand when it receives the alert. And then this is going to be the webhook URL. And also, if you're using stuff like AIs to trade, you can give this to the AI and it will actually go ahead and trade for you. Because I personally have a few set up with Claude even that trades for me based on local strategies. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, which is the copy JSON, and then we can go and create an alert. So we're going to select super trend on TradingView, and then we have downtrend to uptrend, which should be the long. So downtrend to uptrend, which is long, and then the alert, no, that's not it. Then we can go ahead and edit this message. So this is where we will be pasting in the buy. We can call this long, for example, so we know which this is. In the future, if you really want to speed things up, if you want to go ahead and create the short, you can just change this to short, because it's going to do the same thing. The bot doesn't require the trigger to have been created. It's more like a template. But if you don't understand how to change this, you can still just go the long way, create the trigger, copy it, and so on. So we're going to go and make this long again. And if we apply this, we still need to make sure that we have the URL set in here. So let me go and copy this, copy. We're going to paste that in, api.crodl.com. And once I click create, it's basically now going to be running along with a take profit and stop loss, but we still have to create the short. So all we need to do is right here, do the same thing, create a new trigger. This time we select sell, Sol. We're going to search for Sol again, Sol USDT. Select that key, one way percentage. I used the margin, $10. Take profit percentage. And then we're going to keep this as is. But again, if you already have that first JSON, you could just go ahead and change it from long to short or short to long. We're going to go and say copy. We can see this is short. So once that is copied, we create another. We just go and create another one of these. Super trend. This time we're going to go from uptrend to downtrend, which is going to be short. We're going to go and change that and call this short, apply. The URL should already be there. So once we go and click apply, just remember to update your alerts if it's only once, to make sure it's once per bar, for example, to be continuous. Otherwise, if you just want only once, then leave it as is. So we're going to copy and create. So this is our bot running, and as soon as this trend flips from long to short, it's going to go ahead and place the short on the exchange. Now I know some of you probably want to see that happening, so I'm going to go and show you how it looks like. So we're going to search Sol USDT, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using that run button. Let me just make this dark mode, and then we can go to this. Let's open up the short and say run now. This is going to give you a confirmation. We'll see the trigger executed right here. If we go to the exchange, we can see the bot placed it. There we have the entry, we have the stop loss, we have the take profit. Now just imagine this happen automatically, because as soon as the alert fires, the bot will handle everything by itself. Now also, if you want to view the positions from the actual bot, you can just scroll down and you can see the position right here. You can also manage it from right here. If you click on take profit and stop loss, you can go and modify it. If you want to close it, you can click here on close. So then we also have the open orders if you have take profit, stop loss, or any limit buys and sells. So here we can see the take profit and stop loss. Again, we can modify it, we can close it, cancel it. Let me just keep, exit. And then this is going to be the executed triggers. So this is going to be your history of executed trades, and if you want more info, you can just click on that. It's going to tell you how long it took to execute. We can see this is like just about 1 second. And then the order history is what's happening on the exchange. So this is going to show 0 P&L because this is still an open position. And then if you have the allocation ID set, which we didn't set, we're going to be able to manage those buckets right here. Now I'm also going to show you how a closing trigger works, just so you can see that also happening. We're going to go and say closing trigger. We're going to call this Sol. We just search for Sol USDT, and then we're going to select main market. This is going to be a close short because we opened the short position, and I want to close 100% of my open position. So this is going to close the full trade right here, and I can just go ahead and create this trigger. Now we can see close short. I'm going to go and run this manually again, because otherwise we're going to have to wait for a signal on TradingView. And if I click on run now, it's going to ask me that trigger executed, and now the trade has been closed. So this is only if you don't use something like the built-in take profit and stop loss. This is if you want to, you can connect this exit to any other condition or indicator, whether it's built-in trailing stop, ATR, RSI. It doesn't matter, as long as the signal contains this JSON. That's what's going to be executed by the time the bot receives that signal. So this is very flexible in a sense on you don't just need to use TradingView. Like I've mentioned, I'm also using this on AI and scripts I'm not running through TradingView, but TradingView is probably the most popular and common way people are doing this. And again, if you join the Discord, we have multiple indicators, and I'm actively building and testing with the community. So I do think that we're going to be creating a lot more cooler things for this. Now, this is one exchange. The other exchanges you can see here on top, that's going to be a different video as well on how to connect them. But if you go to docs.crodl.com, this is going to show you exactly on how to set it up, what things mean if you don't understand them. And yeah, again, even if you don't understand it, give the link to ChatGPT, ask it your question, and it will most likely be able to answer what's happening, because I try to make these documentations as in-depth as possible so everyone can understand what's happening. Now, this is again one part of the board, which is the TradingView part. I'm also working on creating like copy trading, as you can see right here. It's not ready yet, but the idea is once we have these bots basically back testing and automating the trades, that you can just go ahead and copy trading the ones that are doing well. Dashboards, there's also something called strategy dashboards. This is going to be where when you have that ID, you can then go ahead and track it. So we didn't enable that, so we'll see our trades basically happening right here. So we can see the first trade was actually a profitable one. I closed it at like 1 cent profit. But if we want to go to volume, we can see the size of this. This is with leverage, the open and the close. So it's basically 10x leverage, $10 is $100 per side. That's where we get the volume. And then yeah, thank you guys for watching. The links are in the description of this video, and you can try it out for free once you create an account. And any questions, either leave them in the comment section of this video or join the Discord, as I'm pretty much always active there. So I hope I'll see you in the next one.